I am facing my exam with December to till date. I appeared exam for 10 times but still I failed. Please suggest me how can I pass it. Okay धनलक्ष्मी जी, चलिए हम देखते हैं आपके बर्थ चार्ट। आपका लग्न है धनु लग्न और आपका राशि है धनु राशि और प्रस्तुत चल रही दशा तो राहु की दशा है। और एग्ज़ाम्स के बारे में आपने क्वेश्चन पूछा, ठीक है। आपने इस चीज़ को स्पेसिफाई नहीं किया कि ये किस एग्ज़ाम है। यदि गवर्नमेंट रिलेटेड एग्ज़ाम्स या किसी कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्ज़ाम्स या पब्लिक सेक्टर्स का या किसी इंटरव्यू के लिए प्राइवेट सेक्टर में एग्ज़ाम्स यदि आप गिव कर रही हैं या कोई अदर एग्ज़ाम्स यानी कि इंटरव्यूज़ या किसी प्राइवेट सेक्टर की एग्ज़ाम्स, तो यह चीज़ आप ध्यान में रख लीजिए कि आप डायरेक्टली हमें अप्रोच कीजिए इधर थ्रू मेल और थ्रू कॉल। तो वैसा आप अप्रोच करेंगे तो हम इसमें थोड़ा सा क्लैरिटी और दे सकते हैं, क्योंकि यदि आप आपके फेवरेबल डेट्स या फेवरेबल ट्रांसिट ऑफ प्लैनेट्स जब होगा उस समय यदि आप ट्राई करेंगे तो आपके लिए रिजल्ट्स फेवरेबल होगा। यदि आप अपने एग्ज़ाम्स का डेट चूज़ कर सकते हैं, तो आप एग्ज़ाम्स का डेट नहीं चूज़ कर सकते हैं तो आप कलर थेरेपी या नंबर थेरेपी भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं। वैसा यदि आप चूज़ करेंगे तो आप 100% रिजल्ट्स पाने में तो आपके लिए चांसेस बहुत बढ़िया हैं। इसलिए तो हमें अप्रोच कीजिए, हम आपके लिए तो सपोर्टिव रहेंगे। धन्यवाद। श्रोतों, हम लेते हैं आज का अगला क्वेश्चन। इस क्वेश्चन है अमित जी से और अमित जी का क्वेश्चन यह है कि आई एम फेसिंग ह्यूज लॉस इन कमोडिटी एंड शेयर ट्रेडिंग मार्केट। आई वांट टू कवर अप दैट एज आई कांट बियर लॉस, प्लीज सजेस्ट। ठीक है अमित जी, आपका लग्न है मिथुन लग्न और कुंभ राशि और प्रस्तुत आप एक्सपीरियंस कर रहा दशा तो बृहस्पति का दशा है, ठीक है। बिजनेस लॉस के बारे में आपने पूछा और उसको कंट्रोल करने के लिए उपाय आपने मांगा है, ठीक है जी। तो यहाँ बिजनेस में तो लॉसेस तो बहुत कॉमन है, उसको मैनेज करना है। यदि आप एक बार लॉस एक्सपीरियंस किया तो दूसरा बार उस लॉस को मैनेज करने में आपको तैयार रहना पड़ेगा, ठीक है। कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। आप एक चीज़ ध्यान में रख लीजिए, आपका बिजनेस ट्रांजैक्शन से इधर वेडनेसडेज, सैटरडेज या फ्राइडेज कंटिन्यू कीजिए और थर्सडेज को अवॉइड कीजिए। और हर थर्सडेज में अभी यानी कि सितंबर 2019 तक हर थर्सडेज में बिजनेस ट्रांजैक्शंस को अवॉइड कीजिए अनलेस एंड अनटिल इट इज़ वेरी मच इम्पॉर्टेंट, ठीक है। और हर थर्सडेज डोनेशंस या दान धर्म में पार्टिसिपेट कीजिए। वैसा आप करेंगे तो आपके लिए तो प्रॉफिट्स का चांसेस इंप्रूव होगा और लॉस तो कम होगा। इसमें तो आपके लिए एक फेवरेबल चांसेस प्रॉफिट्स को देखने के लिए भी बढ़ सकती है। और दूसरा उपाय यह है कि आप हर रोज़ श्री नरसिम्हा करावलंब स्तोत्र यानी कि श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिम्हा करावलंब स्तोत्र उसको पारायण कीजिए या आप सुन भी सकते हैं हर रोज़ 3 बार। इसको प्रैक्टिस कीजिए, ज़रूर आपके लिए एक बहुत बढ़िया डेवलपमेंट आप देख सकते हैं। 2020 में ही आप देख सकते हैं बहुत अच्छा डेवलपमेंट। ऑल द बेस्ट जी। श्रोतों, चलिए हम लेते हैं आज का अगला क्वेश्चन। सिमांटो ने क्वेश्चन पूछा, व्हेन शैल आई गेट rid from money matter? I have no money at all. I get frustrated myself. I consult too many astrologers, but no one can predict correctly. Okay, सिमांटो जी, आपने आपका बर्थ डिटेल्स शेयर किया। आपका लग्न है मिथुन लग्न और मकर राशि और श्रवणा नक्षत्र। जो अभी चल रहा है वो तो राहु जी की महादशा है और राहु जी की महादशा तो जुलाई 2019 तक है। ठीक है, मनी मैटर्स के बारे में आपने पूछा है। आपका धन स्थान यानी कि सेकंड हाउस जो हम बोलते हैं वो तो कर्काटक है और उसका अधिपति तो चंद्र है, और चंद्र का दृष्टि सेकंड हाउस पर है। और दूसरा यह है कि आपका लाभ स्थान यानी कि 11th हाउस तो मेष राशि है और उसका अधिपति तो अंगारक है, वो भी 11th हाउस पर हैं राहु के साथ। ठीक है, मनी मैटर्स में आप इनकंसिस्टेंसीज आप महसूस कर सकते हैं, और ये इनकंसिस्टेंसीज आपके लिए 2021 के तक होगा, और 2021 के बाद आप एक्सपीरियंस्ड होंगे मनी मैटर्स को मैनेज करने में। और एक और चीज़ यह है कि आपके लिए तो यदि प्रॉफिट्स या इनफ्लो ऑफ मनी तो बहुत बढ़िया होगा, अभी भी आपके लिए तो इनफ्लो ऑफ मनी बहुत बढ़िया होगा, लेकिन आपका एक्सपेंसेस भी बहुत बढ़िया होगा। यहाँ पर आपको यह चीज़ ध्यान में रखना है, वो यह है कि आपको लिए एक्सपेंडिचर्स को मैनेज करना है, और मनी मैनेजमेंट में आपको एक्सपीरियंस्ड पर्सन से सलाह लेना है। यदि आप वैसा करेंगे तो आपके लिए तो फ्यूचर को हैंडल करने के लिए मनी मैटर्स यानी कि फिनेंशियली आपको फ्यूचर मनी मैटर्स से हैंडल करने में एक अच्छा अनुभव पा सकते हैं। इसको ट्राई कीजिए। और फिनेंशियल इनकंसिस्टेंसीज इसको मैनेज करने के लिए हर रोज़ शिव जी की प्रार्थना कीजिए, घर पर शिव जी की प्रार्थना कीजिए, और हर सोमवार तो उपवास ट्राई कीजिए, प्रैक्टिस कीजिए उपवास रहने में। वैसा करेंगे तो आप अच्छा रिजल्ट्स एक्सपीरियंस कर सकते हैं फिनेंशियली। ऑल द बेस्ट जी। श्रोतों, यह है आज का लाइव कनेक्ट प्रोग्राम। चलिए हम देखते हैं आपको अगला एपिसोड में। नमस्कार।
Today, Dr. Pillai will be joined by physicians, healers, spiritual teachers, and seekers from around the world for a discussion about the light body as a practical solution to both personal and global peace and evolution. So if you're anything like me, you may feel that the light body is a mysterious and even incomprehensible topic and concept, which is precisely why we're having this conversation. We are going to be exploring the different perspectives of how the light body is viewed, everything from the religious standpoint on how the light body is present in religions around the world, to science and how there is proof of turning matter into light. And then finally, we'll be talking about with some folks on their personal experiences by using light body techniques. So now we are being joined by Dr. Pillai. Thank you so much, Dr. Pillai, for joining us on this discussion today. Dr. Pillai is a world thought leader, and he is an expert in the topic of the light body. Could you please begin by telling us about this concept and some of the beings that you know of have experienced the light body?
Thank you. Thanks particularly to the divine for turning on my language mind. I have to get into my language brain in order to talk to you. Otherwise, I'll be completely spaced out. I'll give you an example. Somebody was driving me here because I can't drive. And then they stopped at a place, and I looked around, and then there was a church, and the church was God's church. And down below was written something like, the place for refuge, the place for refuge. And then I have been in the process during the time to activate my language brain. And then my language brain was telling, what if the word refuge is changed with replacing S in the place of G, the place for refuse. So the meaning changes completely. So it becomes a place for garbage. So that is the trick that language plays. I met a scientist who had his pituitary removed. I met a scientist who had his pituitary removed, and also know another doctor whose thyroid had been removed, but they are alive. As far as pituitary is concerned, I know from my understanding of the pituitary from the spiritual point of view, it is the place where the soul stays. So I began to think that maybe this guy is living without a pituitary. So what does that mean? So is he living without a soul? I just started asking the question myself. Then he told me that he has to take all the hormones secreted by its major gland, by the pituitary, that keeps him alive. Then I began to think that, well, then life is just chemicals that he is taking in these chemicals that duplicate the work of the hormones, and that's why he's living. So then life equals some chemicals. Then I just dwelt on it and then began to think more about it. And this brings me to a couple of things that I forgot to mention in my first presentation. That's about turning the body into light through the use of herbs. One of the things that I want to introduce to people is the use of herbs to turn the body into light. One was introduced by Swami Ramalingam. There are many herbs within the Tamil Siddha tradition that can promote the light body. And the one that he really wanted to introduce was Eclipta alba. You know, it's a particular Eclipta alba with yellow flowers, not with the white flowers. That he says will do the job of promoting the light body. But then there are other herbs which I probably will introduce you to, all of you down the road when we are doing the program. The primary herb is Eclipta alba. That's the botanical name. Karisale is the Tamil name for it. Now, so that makes sense to me. So the Siddhas are scientists, and their science is far more sophisticated than what our science is. Now, I don't know if you know about a branch of science within the pharmacology called chronopharmacology. A friend of mine at the University of Pittsburgh, when I was at the University of Pittsburgh, we used to have a lot of conversation on chronopharmacology. He was a psychiatrist working on a research project on chronopharmacology. So what it means is, you take Tylenol, that's what he was studying, during daytime versus nighttime. It works differently. So this is from chronopharmacology, the effect of time on the chemical. The Siddhas knew that, but he was only studying the diurnal and the nocturnal rhythms. But there are time frames, like even hour by hour, like the horas, or the major 5 decisions of time called Panchang is another time. There is death time, there is life time, there is happy time, there is poison time, Rahu Kala, Yamakanda. These are all divisions of the time. I said, you know, what is the effect of these time on these chemicals? Yes, they do affect. The chemicals are never remain the same as inert. So the Siddhas, when you take the Eclipta alba, what happens is you have to keep the life of the plant even if after it is harvested. So you have to really negotiate with the plant before you even harvest it. This is what the Siddhas' ideal methodology is. Not only that, it's not going to work the same way as it's going to work for somebody. So if it works for you, there is no, it will work for others too. But then if you want to maintain the potency of the chemicals within the planet or the life energy within the planet, you have to harvest the plant on the day you were born, on the nakshatra you were born, the star you were born. So if the eclipse alba has to work better for you, the 100%, then you have to go and also harvest it on the birth star day. They have stipulations like that. It's almost, I wouldn't say impossible, very hard to manufacture a drug like that. So I'm going to do my best to do it on a time that, it still will work, like 80% will work if it is done properly. And then energize it with sound waves. Okay, then it becomes completely full. You can see the pharmacology of the Siddhas. It is a lot more sophisticated than Western medicine has knowledge about pharmacology. Today, they knew chronopharmacology. They also knew the intentions that can also alter the chemicals. That's why it's not enough if you just buy a eclipse alba and take it from the market and then take it. It will still work maybe 50%, 40%, but it has to be programmed. Now, if you look at Dr. Cleve Davis' research, you will see how all these things are true, because he has, if you go to the YouTube and check Dr. Cleve Davis, and he says, if you talk to your plant, say, I'm going to come and kill you, cut your leaf, and then I'm going to cut on the 13th leaf, and then all the leaves are attached to a polygraph. The leaf that you said that you are going to cut will freak out. You can see the polygraph going crazy because it picks up. It's 15 feet away from him. You may want to go and see that on the YouTube. So it's all proved now. This is the technology of the right body. Everything is being processed. That's why you have to be aware of what is going on within your body. You do not know that the DNA has its own memory. It can go into, it can remember thousands and thousands of years before when you still had a body. And then you can meditate on it, and then we will be able to access it. But the access will come through the brain. And the brain will also interpret in a different way from the language that is contemporarily available. So it is a science. It is going to be accepted because now quantum physics is challenging all our notions. Quantum physics says that who is important is not the matter, but the observer. The observer decides everything. And who is the observer? Your consciousness. And we are so negative, then the observer, for instance, I give this example because everybody relates to matter better than light or energy. The observer thinks that there is no money in the bank. The observer says, this is my salary. This is my job. This is not a quantum physical reality. This is a material, molecular, or even more gross level of reality, physics that you know. The light body is the physics that acknowledges that you change every moment. Last moment you did not have money. That doesn't mean that this moment you should not have money. So if you live in that level, then you can completely, change. There was a multi-millionaire I was talking to. He said that he lost money so many times, and he became bankrupt. There was no money even for the gas for the car, and then he came back up again. It is all because he never meditated in his life. Tell me this. But all the other people who claim that they are meditating, you are not meditating. You don't know the principles of meditating. If you know if you are in that quantum physical state of your consciousness, you will know everything. For instance, Jay Radha, who was on the host for this session, I knew she was not going to be there. She's a substitute, and Mohini was going to be there. And I knew, 2 days ago, I told, what are you going to do if Mohini is not going to be available? And nobody took me seriously. And today she was sick, and she could not be on the show. So where does it come from? It comes from your light body. You will become omniscient. Know everything, not only omniscient, but omnipresent and omnipotent. This is what humanity has to evolve into. What is the use of being like an animal? We are just slightly better than animals. I wouldn't say totally better, because we cannot process the ultrasound, infrasound. If we are able to process infrasound like the animals do, like the elephants, when they came to know that there is going to be a tsunami, they left. And we didn't leave. We died. Human beings died because we did not know, because we have lost the ability while we are developing the neocortex, with a chunk of the brain on the top of the brain stem. We lost our intuitive ability. Now, if our brain has to process infrasound now, it will go crazy. So we have to make it, possible for us to know all these things, whether it is infrasound or through some other means, so that we will know. Now we do not know. We live in darkness. The body lives in darkness, the mind lives in darkness, and we are living like animals. So we have to collectively join together and then visualize a future for humanity. This is the human evolution project. And we don't think that is important. What is important is just you go and then watch the ball game. Today I was coming from my home, and then there was a long line of cars. There was a baseball game going on. The people want to lose themselves. They don't want to be aware. They want to be lost. They just want to have fun. And then whenever you lose your consciousness, you are going towards death. Death is not coming at one fine morning when you get old and then you die. Death is a process which is embedded in your growth process. The growth, a child grows into death. And all this can be stopped provided you become conscious. When you become conscious, then you will be able to stop everything. You will be like an angel. And that is the next evolution for the human race. Then only whether, we will not have jealousy, greed, anger, disease, death, all this we can put an end to. But we are playing games. We are just playing games with life. Light body is not important. Being conscious is not important. What is important is just to go through this consensus reality and put the blame on God when you made it like that. No. You have to take, God has given you the discriminatory power to discriminate. Okay? There's a story of how a man was drowning, and he said, I won't take help from anyone God himself has to come and help me. So a ship came and offered help, second ship came, offered help, third ship came, offered help. He wouldn't get on board. He said, only God has to come and help me. But he drowned and died, and he went to heaven, the story goes, and he met God. God, I'm happy that you brought me to heaven, but I want to know, why did you abandon me on the earth plane? God said, idiot, I sent you 3 ships. You should have got on board. Okay, but you didn't take any help. Okay, you blame it on me now. So God helped those who help themselves. So you have to do something. You won't want to do anything. Okay, go to the ball game, but never want to take a look into what's going on. Okay, most people, it's life in total unconsciousness. Because how many people can take light body seriously? No. Why? Is that the consensus reality is only for is overwhelmingly real for us. I had a guru, and he was the most intelligent guru, most evolved, most experienced, and never went to school, but the government of India gave him many awards, many doctorates, and he picked, one day he asked me to come home, and then accepted me. As I was the only student he accepted. And then I asked him, you have so much wisdom, man, why don't you share with others? I think it will be a waste of time. That's why I don't do anything. He was living in a farmhouse and in a very one-to-one relationship with God. And I had the good opportunities to stay with him. He said, I don't want to waste time because these people, I will be speaking to a wall. So I don't want to waste my energy. So I felt called to call you, and then I wanted to teach you these things. So that's the truth. But things have to change. Now it's changing. It's no longer the same truth. The truth now is, after the Mayan calendar ended in last year, December 21st, we have now really gotten into the golden age. There is going to be the awakening process for everyone. That doesn't mean that everybody is going to get a light body, but then at least they will become sensitive towards it, and especially politicians and scientists, they are all going to change, and it's very important for the legislators to change, and that they will change, and then the human evolution project will gain priority, and that's already started now. Obama initiated a new project called Mapping the Brain, Understanding the Brain. Billions of dollars are going to be available because what we know about the brain is now like 2% or 1%. That's all we know about the brain, because there are zillion connections in the brain, and we are in infancy. So so how are we going to know the brain? The science path is good, but it is going to take a long time because its methodology is very slow process. We want instantly. We have to vibrate at the speed of light, the square of light. And that methodology is already available. So what is going to happen is the merger of science and spirituality that I look forward towards that. And where the Siddha technology will be incorporated into the science. It's all about changing your brain. In the midbrain 3M program, the program that I did last, I said that everything is dependent on brain. And I even defined poverty as a disease of the brain. The brain is not working properly. It is lost in negativity and then locked into areas like the frontal lobe, and doesn't allow you outrageous thoughts. So if we change the brain, we can change poverty. So these concepts are very important for me because we have not tried that. Okay, and my first guru, the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, which, was very important for me because he did some research in Washington, D.C., where he proved that you can change the crime rate. People join together and meditate. The police department was involved in that. Even after all this, we have not done anything about meditation. That's sad. But then now, if we collectively come together and do that, we can create the light body very easily. What we need is collective consciousness. Collective consciousness. And then one point that I forgot to mention during the last session was about Swami Ramalingam. Swami Ramalingam completely devoted his life for the light body. And in all his writings are only about the light body. He didn't care about anything else. And he turned his body into light, and then the British were living during the time, and people tried to photograph him, and the light body was not picked up by the camera. Later on, people wanted permission from me to show some of my light body pictures. So you will be able to see it sometime in the show. This is the first time that I have given permission for them to show. Yes. So what happens is this physical body, when it gets transformed into the light body, you will be blissed out. It's a blissed body. And you will hear Om everywhere, just as Eben Alexander says that he said Om everywhere. I asked him, how do you know Om? Did you study Hinduism or Buddhism where they use this Om? He said, I know. I don't even go to church regularly. I go to Christmas or Easter, that's all. But this is my experience. I knew that God is Om. And this is the experience of Ramalingam. What happened? Omayat tiruvuru vuvappudan aruli Amayat tadaidavir arutperum jyoti. He said that the God of light gave him this light body. I'll talk about the God of light in the next session. After he gave me this light body, and how was it? He said it was Om. Omayat tiruvuru. Om became this beautiful body. And then once I acquired this Om body, or Omic body, so he is making a verb out of Om. Omayat tiruvuru vuvappudan aruli Amayat tadaidavir perum jyoti. Amaya is a disease. Ama, it comes from the Ayurvedic concept. Ama is the poison within this body that creates diseases. After I acquired this Om body, there was no disease in the body. What else do you want? Do you want money? Or a disease-free body which is full of bliss? And you don't even have hunger or thirst. This is what we have to aspire for. This is our priority. But instead of that, we have accepted a body which is like totally ignorant. We do not even know that there are dendrites and axon terminals, neurotransmitters, and they all have their own understanding and going on everywhere in the body. All that we know is our thought reality. And even we don't have outrageous thoughts. We have very, very depressive, negative thoughts. So we have to change all this. So how can we change all this? We have to change our brain. The brain is the most important thing that we have to do. That's why I'm going to dedicate my life to study the brain, not just the physical brain alone, but the astral brain, the light body brain. Because which is similar, I mentioned to you earlier, it is similar to our physical brain. They will call it like a golden lotus, 1,000-petaled golden lotus. It's a great way of describing it. Like, because you have all these, when you look at the brain, the neocortex with all the wave-like structure, like petals of the flower. And that can give you, living the astral brain along with this physical brain will give you a tremendous amount of understanding about of our own evolution, of our omniscience, of our omnipotence, and of omnipresence. I'm very happy that I'm now teaching this to school children in India. Within a few weeks of training, I just went and saw about 3,000 people I have now. Within a few weeks of training with sounds, it's not about light body, it's about strengthening the brain. They just glow. And these are kids from the slums, have no parents or a single parent. The parent is a alcoholic, and then no self-esteem, and now they are, within few weeks of training, they really glow. Their intelligence has gone up, grades have gone up. All this is because of this new training. So the new education that we have is going to be how to empower our brain. There is no point in complaining, no, this kid can't study well because it's too hard for him to comprehend or understand or memorize. But what techniques you have to make the brain stronger so that it can understand better, so that it can discriminate, so that it can use the time properly. The technique needs a way to strengthen the brain. So everything boils down strengthening the brain. And the Siddhas will say, just don't see with your two eyes. The two eyes can give you only the material reality. You can see the material reality, you can watch the television, that's what we do all the time. But the material reality will be revealed through the eyes. But if you want to see something different from the material reality, you have to use the third eye. Is there a third eye? There is. There is a third eye. Now they say it is the pineal gland. If you just go to Google search and say pineal gland, and David Wilcock has a very scientific presentation of the third eye and how it looks like an eye, the retina. How the eyes look like the pineal gland. All these things, he has given the science of the light, of the third eye. But I have to tell you, the third eye is not the pineal. The third eye is not in the physical body. The third eye is in the astral brain, which includes, more or less, if you want to think about the physical brain, it is all of the midbrain area, which includes also the pituitary, which is the seat of the soul. Okay. Now, what has to happen is we have to have all the pituitary, particularly the pituitary and pineal, become so active, okay, and then they will secrete their juices, essences, into the third ventricle. The third ventricle unites both the pituitary and the pineal. And that once that happens, I've talked about earlier on the pineal and the DMT, that that is secreted, and then the relationship between DMT and ayahuasca, the Native Americans use. I'm not going to go into that because I'm running out of time. So I have elsewhere talked about it. You can go in the Light Body Program 1. I have talked about it a lot. But when I do the 1-year program, I will certainly go into what are the 9 hormones in the pituitary gland, and the DMT particularly in the pineal gland, and when they secrete into the third ventricle, what is going to happen is the third eye opens, and then you have a light body happening. Did Ramalingam or the Siddhas know about it? Yes, they knew about it. The fundamental thing that is going to happen, this is going to be what the core of this program that I will be teaching for 1 year. I will spend on this particular about a good 4 or 5 months. There should be a secretion which they called as amrita. Amrita means that elixir or of immortality. Mrita is death. Mrit is death. Amrita means the opposite of death, or immortality. The immortality elixir should come to play. Now I'm going to give you an experience. Just close your eyes. Put your attention on the brain. I'm going to quickly go through a technique which really takes hours to practice, but I'm going to give it to you in a few minutes so that you can do it later on at your leisure at home. This is a Ramalingam technique. He sees the astral brain as a golden lotus. Porpangayatin pudunaravum. This golden lotus is oozing out a nectar, a fresh nectar. So when I do the technique, Ramalingam will come and bless everyone because he is so dedicated to the process. And he is still there in the light body. Porpangayatin pudunaravum. There is a nectar oozing out from the golden lotus, which is the brain. Just imagine the brain as a golden lotus. And then there is a honey or nectar oozing out. Sutta jalamum. There is another water that comes out. Mamadi madhuvum. There is a moon, which is the right brain, and it secretes another nectar into it. All that are falling into the third ventricle, which is the middle of the brain, just below the thalamus. The pituitary is secreting a milk-like substance. Pasuvin timpalum. Then narpanjagamum. There are different parts of the brain. There are 5 different parts of the brain, which are the cortex area. They all secrete. Now they all are combined. It becomes the elixir. that elixir stops death. Turns the body into light. Visualize the body into light. That elixir is dripping inside, and sometimes you can even feel the taste of the elixir on your tongue. It's a real happening. It's not just an imagination. Then the whole body becomes alive. You are revitalized. The elixir spreads all over the body and turns the cells into the body, into light. Arutperum Jyoti. Arutperum Jyoti. Taniperum Karunai. Arutperum Jyoti. The God, the God of light, wants you to have the light body. God doesn't want you to have pain, diseases, disappointment, and death. Arutperum Jyoti, Arutperum Jyoti. Taniperum Karunai, Arutperum Jyoti. God has infinite compassion. It's not His intention to punish us. It is our own intention, ignorance, that punishes us. He is pure light. You are pure light. That's the reality. See your body as light. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Keep your eyes closed. Relax. Slowly come back to yourself and open your eyes.
Thank you, Dr. Pillai, for that profound experience. Now we are going to take some questions from our chat audience, the global audience listening. This is from Jennifer Sadana. Dr. Pillai, can you speak to an experience of light entering the body through the crown of the head and passing through the body?
Yeah. There is the crown chakra, which is at the top of the brain. And the light has to come through that chakra into the third ventricle. But at the same time, you will have to have all your life energy from the lowest chakra also to go up and meet the light in the third eye. And when that happens, there will be the union of the individual soul with the universal soul. All your life energy is within the lowest chakra, where it is in the form of your reproductive juices, like the semen and the ovum. And they have tremendous amount of power because they can create life. The semen and the ovum can create life. But we waste the life and life energy. It will be transformed through the meditation process, meditative processes, which I will be talking about throughout the Light Body program. I will spend a couple of months on that. And then take that energy. Otherwise, I could be in an invisible world. Take them to the third ventricle. And then the light will descend into the third ventricle. There will be a union of that. And once that union happens, then the whole body, the third eye opens, the whole body will turn into light.
Thank you for that explanation. And I know that we're going to talk more later about the different modules of your program, and I understand crown chakra breathing is one of those. So we'll go into some more detail then. So the next question we have is, once we obtain the light body, can we leave the earth and come back whenever we wish?
Once you have the light body, then you do whatever you want to do. So I came back because I could not give the light body to so many people. Then if you are in the light body, then you are limited in your interaction with people. So you have to have a flesh and blood body so that you can meet and talk to people and present it. And that's why I chose to come back, and I came back. Yeah.
We have the next.
Psychologically enlightened, he admitted it, but the body was not enlightened. When the body was not enlightened, he was growing older and older and older, and he even became blind. He lived a long life. In his 80s, he became blind, and he was still talking about the light body, but he confessed that he did not succeed. So there is two types of enlightenment. There is enlightenment on the level of the mind. They will be liberated from the thought process. I mean, even there are many layers of enlightenment, even psychological enlightenment. You'll have thoughts and still enlightened because thoughts don't bother you. That's one level of enlightenment. There's another level of enlightenment that thoughts will not be there, and you have to really make an effort, just like in the case of Raman Maharshi. He has to really tremendously work hard to get a thought inside his mind. Okay, that's another type of enlightenment. So there is psychological enlightenment of the brain gets enlightened. There is also enlightenment of the body, the mind, and the soul. That's what I represent. You have to have enlightenment on all the levels. You cannot have just an enlightened body and the mind remains ignorant. So it has to be, all the three together. That's total enlightenment. But some people settle for, well, the body is inessential and it is going to die, so let me die. And those people have really suffered from cancer, and then say there, but still the cancer pain was real. In the case of Raman Maharshi, the doctor who attended to him asked him, so what's the difference? I am dying, I'm unenlightened, you are also dying, but I am your doctor, I am attending on you, you are crying in pain. So what's the difference? I am getting confused here. So I don't subscribe to the model. Okay. The best model is enlightenment is for the body, mind, and the soul. Next.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So those are all the chat questions we're going to take from now. We're going to take some more later, so please stay tuned and continue to send them in. We have more questions than we can get to right now. So next we are going to invite our panel of doctors. And Dr. Pillai, you can take a break now if you'd like, and we'll begin speaking with Dr. Lionel Bassoon. Lionel, can you hear me? Oh, you're muted. Let's get that taken care of. I think you're okay now. Lionel, can you? No, not yet. Nope, you're still muted. You might want to try to click the red microphone on the upper right corner. I think for a moment there you were unmuted.
Better?
Yes.
Oh, great. Thanks. It's my first time on the Hangout.
That was killing me. Okay.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Thank you so much for joining. I know you're joining us live from New York City.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, and you have been studying with Dr. Pillai for almost 20 years now, right?
It's approximately 18 to 20 years. It's been so long I've lost track of time.
Right. And you have a flourishing medical profession.
Right. My practice is here in Manhattan, and it's sports medicine, hormone replacement, cosmetic medicine. So it's a very diverse practice.
Great. And I know through your experiences with Dr. Pillai, you've had many of them. And we've heard about some of them on other events and in person as well. Can you tell us a little bit about your experiences with the DMT meditation that Dr. Pillai gave out at another event? But first, what is dimethyltryptamine? It's considered the spirit molecule, right? So from a doctor's perspective, what is it? And then how has it affected you from a spiritual perspective?
Dimethyltryptamine is a molecule that's made in the pineal gland. And this molecule is involved when you have dreams and you have visions. The Native American shamans in South America and around the world, they drink medicine, which they call ayahuasca, and in this brew, they naturally get dimethyltryptamine. The dimethyltryptamine is responsible for the vision that they see during these ceremonies that they do. Interestingly enough, after the ceremonies is completed, they will talk, because Baba's really dead set against people taking any kind of hallucinogenic drugs or any kind of drugs, so to speak, for any purposes. So when he decided to teach this as a meditation, I was really excited about it. And during that time last summer when he taught the meditation, I think we were in California. It was really a really interesting experience. I know many people have had other experiences, but during that.
So from studying as a doctor the molecules and then experiencing this spiritually, how do you put that together?
Well, that's a really difficult thing because this is about self-evolution. But you know, when yourself evolves as you evolve, obviously the people around you sense that difference in you. People around you could feel there's a difference in you, and it's almost as though you attract people to you. So people who with like-minded consciousness want to be around you. As far as a medical practice, it's interestingly, in my practice, most of our patients seem to be interested in things like world peace and enlightenment and improving their consciousness. So when you have these kind of people to work with, it makes my work a lot easier. And it sometimes, you know, they even inquire as to, hey, you know, where can I learn more about what you're doing? And so sometimes I direct them to the website. Excellent.
So it sounds like you're able to integrate pretty easily your medical practice, your scientific mind, with your spiritual experiences in studying with Dr. Pillai for such a long period of time.
Well, it's almost impossible to separate it because the information one gets from Dr. Pillai is not something you could learn anywhere. It's not written in textbooks. You can't go and study it. And as far as I'm concerned, you're not even studying with him because he's imparting this knowledge to you that you can't find any place, and you can't go home and analyze it and logically dissect it. So it's something that was given, and other people sense it and they want it. So, and once they see their difference in you, the way you carry yourself, your peacefulness, your happiness, and you know, everybody's attracted to happiness.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to laugh and smile and enjoy life and be happy and you know, look, there's some high purpose in life, and they sense it.
Absolutely. And I'm really glad you mentioned that about what you can't get in a textbook, or even what Dr. Pillai says, words. There's so much more energy and empowerment behind all of that, and I know that you know that more than most other people, especially the people who've been studying with him. So thank you for reaffirming that. And of course, those people who are participating in the Light Body program, the one that happened last year as well as the one that's happening this coming up year, get a more vivid experience of that, wouldn't you say?
I think they do. And when you talk to the people in the program, these are the things they sort of express. We were in India and everybody was really excited about the program because it's not about how much words you could say or how much things you could write down and memorize. It's about just being in Baba's presence, the Dr. Pillai's presence, and you know, hearing it directly from him. And even though you may not actually remember it, it resonates someplace in your consciousness. I mean, I was just thinking about this over the last few days, and I realized I've waited lifetimes for this moment. I've waited so long. It's not just I've been waiting 5 years or 10 years. I must have waited 5, 10, 15, 20 lifetimes to have this opportunity to hear about the light body and to engage in this pathway, and realize that everybody who's doing this, it's not something they read about on the internet that says, hey, you know what, I think I'm going to jump in on this. You know, they've been waiting lifetimes. And so to all you guys, you know, I'm glad we waited long enough, and time is here. So
Absolutely. And that's what
all good.
Dr. Pillai says, that certain people will be drawn to this. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Bassoon. I would love to keep talking, but we do need to move on to our next doctor on the panel.
So I'm going to give you now how you can really reprogram your body through a meditation. I'm just not here to just blah blah and give you just some theories. You know, all theories to me are blah blah unless you have the experience and be able to relate to what I'm talking about. I want you to close your eyes. What you are seeing is the physical body. What you are identifying yourself is with the flesh and blood, the diseases in the body, how heavy you are or how thin you are. This is your identity. Now, whatever it is, just go back into your body. The body is alive. The DNAs are alive. All over the body, spread all over the body. Even the DNA is not living. The light body is not living life to its fullest extent. And what is light? What is life? Life is light. And what is light? Light is consciousness. Life, light, consciousness, they're all synonyms. Just focus on that from head to foot. You are filled with the DNA. And we are going to pump into the DNA a lot more life. A lot more breathing. We are going to breathe life into it. Because the life energy is the breathing energy. So collect all your life energy, the breathing energy, and just put it mentally into all the DNA